Interview the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin.
Tucker Carlson is lying from the streets of Russia, no less.
What do you mean by that?
Not a single Western journalist has bothered to interview the president of the other country involved in this conflict, Vladimir Putin.
That's a lie. Serious news outlets, including CNN, have requested Putin to interview over and over again.
But why? Why would he do that?
Most Americans have no idea why Putin invaded Ukraine or what his goals are now. They've never heard his voice.
Another lie. Serious news outlets, including CNN, have covered and, of course, reported on Putin's words since this war began, including one of his baseless justifications for the invasion of Ukraine, which he initially claimed was to stop the Nazis.
First, because it's our job. We're in journalism.
Tucker Carlson is not a journalist.
What?
Yes, the liberal media is freaking out. According to this tweet from Christian Amapo, does Tucker Carlson really think we journalists haven't been trying to interview President Putin every day since his full-scale invasion of Ukraine? It's absurd. We will continue to ask for an interview just as we have years now. This is a CNN anchor trying to go off on Tucker Carlson interviewing Putin. Alex Jones sent this out. The same EU globalist scum are trying to bully Elon Musk into censorship with criminal persecution threat. Now they are moving in on Tucker Carlson. We must stand together for free speech. Tucker Carlson is a problem now to the world. EU want to sanction him.
Interview the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin.
Tucker Carlson is lying from the streets of Russia, no less.
Not a single Western journalist has bothered to interview the president of the other country involved in this conflict, Vladimir Putin.
That's a lie. Serious news outlets, including CNN, have requested Putin to interview over and over again.
Most Americans have no idea why Putin invaded Ukraine or what his goals are now. They've never heard his voice.
Another lie. Serious news outlets, including CNN, have covered and, of course, reported on Putin's words since this war began, including one of his baseless justifications for the invasion of Ukraine, which he initially claimed was to stop the Nazis.
First, because it's our job. We're in journalism.
Tucker Carlson is not a journalist, not even close. And his former employer in a court case actually agreed. Quote, the general tenor of the show should then inform a viewer that Carlson is not stating actual facts about the topics he discusses and is instead engaging in exaggeration and non-literal commentary.
2 years into a war that's reshaping the entire world, most Americans are not informed. They have no real idea what's happening in this region, here in Russia or 600 miles away in Ukraine.
For 2 years, real journalists have risked their lives to report from the ground each and every day in Russia and in Ukraine, including 2 U.S. journalists who are right now baselessly being detained by.
Tucker Carlson is a problem now to the world. EU want to sanction him. Maybe a travel ban. According to this article recently published by Newsweek, Tucker Carlson interview with Russian president could see the consecutive funding targeted by European Union lawmakers. Current and former members of European Parliament have told Newsweek Carlson's work in Russia could see the former Fox News host in hot water with EU guide. A former Belgian Prime Minister and current member of the European Parliament told Newsweek the lawmaker who has called for the EU to explore imposing a travel ban on Carlson described Carlson as a mouthpiece of former President Donald Trump and Putin, adding, as Putin is a war criminal and the EU sanctions all who assess him in that effort, it seemed logical that the external action service examine his case as well.
Something historical is about to take place in Russia, and I'm all over. Did you know Tucker Carlson is now in Russia interviewing Vladimir Putin? What? He's going to be putting the video up on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, okay? He's also got tuckercarlson.com where he's going to be putting it. I have set up to receive an email for when it comes in. So the moment that this interview is released, I am sharing this here because we know the mainstream's not going to do it. And I'm very curious to see what the other side has to say. The other side for which we don't ever get to see. You know, like, heaven forbid you formulate a thought of your own. So with all that's going on in the world right now, we're going to get an interview from Tucker Carlson with Vladimir Putin. You know, we have some scared people up in our system right now. Because you know what's going to happen when the American people hear and see the truth? They will be able to discern the lies now. They'll see it. You won't be able to not see it. We're finally getting access to the things that have been denied to us for a very long time, and now the people will get the option to judge for themselves instead of letting the system judge for them. I told y'all 2024 was going to be the year of pop. I bet y'all didn't think it was going to be popping this way. Stay tuned. More to come.
Many Libras are melting down on Twitter. Elon Musk had to reply to one. According to this guy, the European Union is said to be seeking sanctions and a travel ban against Tucker Carlson for his interview with President Putin. I never thought I would be defending Tucker Carlson so much within a period of a couple of days. But once again, if you support freedom, then you should support Tucker's right to interview Putin, just like many others have in the past. I'm sure much of what Putin will say will be lies, embellishment, and inaccuracy. Putin is the one who should be sanctioned further, not an American who is asking Putin questions. The risk of this interview for Tucker should not be sanctioned from US allies. This is insane. They should sanction Putin. Yeah, because maybe he will spew some lies according to them, not Tucker Carlson. I don't get the point why this freak out is going on social media. Just asking someone questions on what is happening is a crime. Then I really wonder if these people believe in freedom of speech. Amapu said they have been seeking to interview Putin for a very long time. He's rejecting. Then why are they angry that Tucker Carlson interviewed him? They could actually be happy, like, to hear what he would say this time. I understand they have been curious, like they should only be the one to do that, the mainstream media. But now a single person taking up a decision to do that is a major issue.
So it looks like Tucker is trolling the trolls, and I'm all about it. Just watch.
Can I ask you about your interview with Putin? With who? With Putin. Who is it? I've heard the name.